We're well into spring, but the weather hasn't given us many opportunities to hit our yards and flower beds as much as we'd like. Hopefully that's going to change because they're probably overgrown and we're waiting for a rain-free day to mow the grass, and the weather probably soon will cooperate. When it does, we'll need the right tools, and my next guest can help. Greg Bohls from Buckeye Power Sales is here to help us with all the jobs, big and small. Greg, nice to have you here.
Thank you, Gail.
It is frustrating that we haven't been able to get out and things are growing and growing, and then there's just this little bit of window when we can get out there and take care of stuff. Any advice for folks?
Well, it's tough because we have had so much rain, and it's all right to cut your grass in the rain.
That was my next question. Really?
Yeah, it is. The only thing to keep in mind is when you do cut the grass, you don't want to take off any more than a third of the blade of the grass at a time because it'll stress the grass. Now, with all the rain we've had, and you're not going to hurt it too much.
Because it's going to keep growing and growing. And then if we don't cut it, what happens if it gets long? That's even worse than not cutting it wet?
It's more messy than anything else. It's going to clump, and you'll have to rake the yard, or else you'll have to bag the grass.
So hopefully we will get at least a couple of days of sunshine or spotty showers where we can get out there in the midst. And you brought a couple of tools, some equipment to help us do the job.
Yeah.
And people do like to get out with their hands and manicure their own yard. So what do you have to help?
A little bit of everything. Anything you need to take care of your yard, whether it's a small cultivator for planting a garden or planting annuals right now, string trimmers, blowers, lawn mowers.
What's this thing right here?
String trimmer.
Really?
Yep.
And it has a motorized. Is this a gasoline one?
Gasoline powered.
Do you recommend that?
Absolutely. Well, yeah, depending on the application and what you need. Smaller yards, you can get away with some battery rechargeable product.
But they probably don't have the same oomph, huh?
Don't have the same oomph or run time.
Is this heavy, though, for, say, somebody who's smaller or even women who want to do these sorts of things?
Nope. That's one of the lightest weight gas-powered trimmers we have.
Okay.
And it's an easy start trimmer. So the way it starts, there's actually 2 springs inside the recoil, so it stores energy. So you pull, and then finally it trips over the other spring, so it spins the engine over, so it's easier to start.
Okay. This other big machine over here, what is that?
That's actually, it's a mini tiller. It's a cultivator. They're used most often for planting flower beds or small vegetable gardens.
Instead of turning it over yourself with a shovel?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That would be very handy.
Yeah. Makes the job a little easier.
Right. Do you see many people using those? Because do you find that a lot of folks are doing more gardening in their home?
Yeah. A lot of folks are planting gardens anymore, or they just want to get out and plant annuals.
What about you? Do you use your own equipment?
Yep. We sure do. My wife and I both love to get out into the yard. We're actually planning our trip to buy our annuals a week from this weekend.
Good for you. Good for you. All right. Now, when it comes to buying different things to help us with our yard work, obviously you have a huge warehouse, maybe to the point where folks aren't quite sure what it is that they need. Do you have folks that can help them if you tell them the size yard you have or what you do?
We sure do. We sure do. And those are the questions we ask when people come in. What can we help you find? What are you looking for? And then we can kind of guide them to the products that really fit their needs.
What do most people need? What would you suggest if they could only buy a few pieces of equipment?
Sure. Lawnmower, obviously, first and foremost. A string trimmer is going to handle most duties around the yard, and then probably a handheld blower. Those would be the top 3 things you really need to take care of your lawn, to edge your beds. Those would be the big ones.
Should someone have their lawnmower checked annually?
It's not a bad idea.
Like a car, you know?
Sure. At least change the oil, the air filter, the spark plug. Do that at least once a season. Whether you bring it into a professional to have it done or do it yourself. It's a pretty straightforward process. We have some tips on our website if people want to go there.
Or if you're like me and I want to bring it to you to do.
We can do that.
And you kind of can even pick up and deliver some stuff, huh?
We do.
Which is great because some of the stuff is bigger, and it is kind of hard to get it into the car if you don't have the right size car.
Right.
So would you advise people doing that now? I don't know how busy you are this time of year.
Very busy. It's tough this time of year. This is sort of our holiday season right now. So we are a little backed up in the service department, but we're working our way through it.
Great. Greg, thank you. Nice to have you here. Great stuff.
Gail.
Get down on that flower bed.
Will do.